Everyone. I'm Sunaina, the manager at Tao Art Gallery, and I would like to welcome you to episode 2 of our segment, Through the Photographer's Lens. Today, I will be in conversation with Vipurva Parikh, who is one of the 10 artists in our current ongoing show, Through the Lens. Vipurva loves to make photographs. He lives in Mumbai and he's been taking pictures for about 16 years. His work can be labeled as commercial and even editorial, but to him, he says it's always personal. He is particularly mesmerized by his favorite muse, India, and her forms, geometry, and people from way high up through the eyes of his drone. Vipurva has built a relationship with India's coastlines, and through his work, he explores the narrative between man and ocean and each other's impact on the other. He also photographs India's salt pans and believes that from an aerial view, they transform into an abstract canvas. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome, Vipurva, and thanks so much for being here today.
Hi, Sunana. Nice to be here.
Can you maybe tell us about your first travel assignment?
Yeah, it was quite a few years ago. There was one of these travel magazines, like a big name travel magazine, was launching, and they hired me to go shoot West Bengal. It was really fun actually because the story had been done. The writer had already was done with her part of the job. So it was just me by myself, and I had 10 days to go around Darjeeling and Kurshong and the Duars region, which is like Jaldapada National Park and things like that, and just shoot. And I had a brief to follow, of course, but they were very sweet about it, and they gave me quite a free hand to do what I want and shoot it the way I like to. And it was, in fact, I think it was one of my most favorite shoots because the there's a certain freedom you feel when you're by yourself and you're doing what you love, and it's just something why it takes you back to why you got into it in the first place.
Yeah.
And it seems unbelievable that somebody was paying me to do it, but it was fun. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of the country. I've been quite obsessed with Darjeeling since then, and I keep going back whenever I can to shoot the train, especially Darjeeling Himalayan Rail. So that's another like a ongoing project that I do whenever I can get a chance to go that side.
Yeah, and I've seen so many of your photos, and of course, the biggest thing that attracts me to them is that they're all aerial photography. So, what exactly appeals to you about aerial photography?
So I don't know. I think it started because I spent like a good part of the past 15, 17 years just shooting from eye level from where I was.
Yeah.
And when I got my first drone, it seemed magical, especially like, I mean, I guess I could be counted as one of the old schoolers now who started like shooting with the first digital cameras that came around. And it's crazy because it lets you kind of transcend the limitations of your body and gravity and get viewpoints that at least I never thought would be possible when I got into photography. And like there are these optical illusions where you look at something and then you kind of change your perspective a little bit and you look at it from another angle, and another picture appears within that picture. So I think shooting with a drone kind of takes you back to that.
Okay.
Because you're looking at something and then you go up, or you take your drone up rather. I keep saying you go up, but you take your drone up and you look down from there, and it's a completely different scene. And the visuals and the imagery and the meaning of the entire place can change just by looking at it from another perspective. So I think that's what draws me to it.
That's nice. And what exactly are you trying to capture with your photos, like specifically your salt pan works and your coastline collection?
So actually, they're both, I would say there are different reasons why I shot both of them.
Yeah.
The salt pan, especially because salt to me, it's such a basic thing, right? Like everybody needs it. It's in all our food and it's indispensable, but it's very, very basic. So the way I wanted to shoot this also, I wanted to take the entire landscape of where salt is made, and I wanted to take that and just reduce it to just basic geometry of parallel and perpendicular lines and boxes and triangles and circles. And the colors, I just wanted it to like just shoot the whole thing in earthen colors of just different shades of brown and white.
Yeah.
And the people are, I mean, the people in the pictures are really interesting to me because it's kind of a little bit like role reversal, sorry, where the people become like grains of salt in a canvas, because in a lot of the pictures they're really tiny. Like if you
Yeah.
look at the picture called Pages, which is just these rectangular blocks, and
Yeah.
that area is massive. When you like zoom into the picture, or when you look at a large print, you actually see like the tiny dots of color are people carrying or getting salt away from the pan. And so it's the whole idea was to turn the whole space into an abstract canvas and get it down to basic geometry and earthen colors.
Yeah.
And the coastline also you mentioned. So that started with a very, I'm quite fascinated with being on a boat in the ocean. Like it could be anything. So I've gone out in kayaks or just hitched a ride on fishing boats just to be out there. Because there's something, it's bizarre, right? Like the entire landscape around us, where we live, all the land that we occupy, we've changed it and adapted it to suit our size and our needs. All our roads and streets and houses and buildings and staircases, everything is human sized.
Yeah.
And but the ocean is just as it was 4 billion years ago. Like it's still vast and it's everywhere, and it's frightening and it's beautiful, and it's all these things together. So when you're out there alone on a boat and you look around, a very it's a feeling of timelessness, and it's all of those things that I can go on talking about.
Yeah.
But that's where the fascination began, and I really wanted to photograph that part of it, like just a boat and a person, just how tiny they are in the expanse of the sea and the coast. And we still somehow like managed to have such a impact, and I mean many times a terrible impact on the ocean.
Yeah.
Like what we've been doing to it. And that fascinates me. How can something so small have such a massive and terrible impact on something so vast and timeless?
Yeah.
And that is something I've been exploring with the Coastline series, where just aerial shots where the entire thing again becomes just a flat canvas, and to show how small we are in the scheme of things, I guess.
You mentioned that, India is your muse, but is there a particular photographer that you are especially inspired by?
I would say, I mean, like a question like this takes me back to like why I got into it, and like people, the old masters that inspired me. I think I got into photography because I picked up a large coffee table picture book by Cartier-Bresson with his pictures in it, and I saw that and these old black and whites of Paris, and I was just blown away. Like I didn't know until then that an art form that was accessible to me could be this meaningful and this beautiful. So, and even like Elliot Erwitt, who was another great photographer, just him shooting dogs in the street, something so simple like that, like blew me away.
Yeah.
But I mean, inspiration is, I think it's everywhere. Like if you look for it, so even if like every day when I open up Instagram, and there's a lot of nonsense on there as well. But if you're looking in the right places and the right pages, there's just so much beautiful work of like nameless, like people who are not famous, right? You can be good and not famous, and you can be famous and not very good at your work. So it's just, I mean, there are people half my age shooting work that I can only aspire to. And even the people like my co-exhibitors in this exhibition, they have such a wonderful viewpoint of things, and it's inspiring to look at everybody's work, I think.
And when you present your works, do you have a specific style, like a preference on the surface that you print on?
I think I've tried out different mediums, and I've seen my work printed on wood, and I mean in one case, a friend even printed it on leaves and it was beautiful. But personally, when I'm making prints, I'm quite partial to, excuse me, to canvas, to just like large 4 feet wide, 5 feet wide canvases, because I like the texture that your canvas brings into the picture.
Yeah.
And I like with canvases, you don't always need a glass pane in front of the picture.
Yeah.
And to me, that is one level of like it removes another like a level of distance between the viewer and the picture. And I mean, I don't mind people coming up and even touching the picture. I mean, just you have to, it lets you experience it in a more wholesome manner, is what I feel.
And what's the next destination that you're looking forward to shooting once things get better?
Once things get better, okay. I actually, this has been like a long time thing. Like I've been planning it for a couple of years, but I haven't been able to go. But I'm quite keen on traveling around Gujarat actually and shooting. I am a Gujarati, and I have lots of relatives and a lot of family in South Gujarat. But I haven't traveled beyond a certain point. I haven't traveled beyond Baroda, say, and like really explored the state. So I just need I mean, I need three things. I need my camera and my drone and my motorcycle and like 1 month. And I have some destinations in mind. I mean, you know, the entire side like Porbandar and Jamnagar and blah, and then go up past past Bhuj and check out the run. And there's a lot to see there. And with me, of course, like it gets easier because I speak the language and it's easier to get around and move around and shoot. But I haven't really done it yet. But I hope to do it hopefully this year if things are better by winter, and then I'll try it out. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Do you have a dream exhibition venue?
Uh, I don't know. I keep thinking I want to see my pictures as, I don't know, this might sound like like a megalomaniac, but I just want to see my pictures as large as possible. So I would love to see them projected on the side of a mountain or in some in some sci-fi universe. If I could mount a projector onto a drone and just like project my pictures onto a wide piece of land, and then people can walk through them, like be part of the pictures or something like that. I know it sounds insane and silly, but I think about this sometimes.
Okay. I think that would be like a really new and interesting experience on how to experience art. And I think, you know, just working at a gallery every day, I'm learning about new ways in which people are presenting art and displaying art. So I don't think that that's like very unrealistic. I actually see that being possible.
Wouldn't it be nice to have people walk through your pictures? I think that's amazing.
Yeah. Would you have any advice for young photographers that are trying to enter the industry?
um, I mean, obviously, just keep shooting as much as you can. I'd say don't get, and I'm talking from experience, and like don't get caught up in technicalities and equipment and things like that. Shoot with whatever you have at hand. Shoot with whatever you have in your hand. It doesn't matter if it's your phone or like the most expensive DSLR or a drone or anything, right? Just get the picture, keep shooting, and be empty. Like just be greedy for knowledge and like learn all the time. Don't ever feel that you learned enough or you're good enough. And there's always something to learn every day from every other photographer or anybody you meet. Read a lot, watch a lot of movies. Everything goes into making you a better viewer and a better listener, and then I think it like shows in your work.
Okay, so now we're going to play a quick round of this or that, where I'm going to be giving you two options and you just have to pick the one that you like best.
All right.
Okay, so road trip or cruise?
I would say cruise, but I would rather be on a smaller boat,
Okay.
not like a cruise liner.
A hot air balloon or a helicopter ride?
Helicopter, I'm obsessed. I really love helicopters. I've never been in one, but that's like a long time dream. So yeah.
Solo trip or group trip?
Solo any day. But yeah, go on.
Surfing or mountain climbing?
Mountain climbing. I've tried surfing and I realized that the ratio of effort to fun is really low, at least for me. And I spend a lot of time in the mountains, at least a few months a year, and I love mountain climbing. So.
Sand or snow?
Snow.
And beach villa or a cozy cabin?
Cozy cabin.
So great. Thanks so much for being a part of our segment through the photographer's lens. To all our
My
viewers,
pleasure.
yeah, our current show Through the Lens will be on display until the 15th of June. So please do check it out. It's curated by Supriya Shah Khanna from Eske Wonders. The downloadable catalog is available on our website, and you can also look at the description below for more information. And thanks so much for joining us today.